So, how's your day?
Well, I just got done with a day of selling real estate and glad to be off. Been dealing with some difficult people today.
Damn, what kind of
Yeah.
people?
Well, everyone knows about those Karen stereotypes, right? Well, there's a whole lot of those in Fair Oaks, California. So that was what I was dealing with today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just day in the life. But anyway, welcome back to Sippin News.
First episode, by the way. Thanks for choosing us.
First episode. Kiann, take it away. What's going on in the world?
So, we live in California right now, and then apparently the floods, like, this is a story of what happened to me today. The floods made the potholes go random. Like, I was at Walmart doing some errands. The potholes go crazy. Like, when I go to Walmart, I usually see Middle Eastern family with the kid in the stroller and the mom taking care of the kid with the dad with the sign. Recently got here. We want money. And then they were there today, even in this rain. Because if you're caught up with current events, you'll know it's wet as heck and it's flooding. So when I drove by, I was driving equipment for Sippin, and then I saw them. And then, bam! There was a pothole on my left tire, and my ass hurt. I was like, I was trying to, I just looked straight ahead because I didn't want to like stop. So as I looked straight ahead, it was weird. I looked straight, but not down in the road. And then, boom, a pothole hit my ass. And then I think there was like a pen under that chair, or like I was accidentally sitting on my favorite pen. And then it just did me dirty.
Did it go up your ass?
No, but I was wearing some brown pants. There was like a mark, and it was like, if you see me wear a pair of brown cargos with like a pen mark between the cheeks and more to the right, those are the pothole pants. We gonna call them the PP for pothole pants. Anything crazy happened to you today?
Not today. Just work. Pretty basic day for me. But those potholes are rough. Definitely makes you be grateful for the things going right, because you could be just drifting down the road and then you hit a pothole and then makes you rethink everything that you've done.
That's true.
Yeah, it could cost you. But anyway, today, one thing I want to get your opinion on, Kiann, is the Starbucks tipping, especially through the drive-through. This is something they've added recently that I could go on for a while, because it really pisses me off.
So are they like a Dutch now?
Pretty much. But you know, like how Dutch Bros people are? They're really, like, if any of you have a Dutch Bros around, you know, in California it's pretty common.
Yeah.
They're pretty chill people.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they're hella laid back, they're listening to music. It's a chill, upbeat environment. And they don't really care much about the tip. They're like, hey, you know, select something on the screen, doesn't matter. They literally tell me you don't need a tip. Like,
That's
okay,
true.
cool. At Starbucks, they're kind of like intimidating with it, and like they like their demeanor, it just makes you feel like you have to, and I don't like that. Like, they're handing you a drink. They're not even like Dutch Bros people where they're standing outside in the rain or whatever weather is going on. You know,
That's a good argument.
right? Because Starbucks people, they don't do that. They're inside, you know, and the lines are ridiculous, and they're slower. And they expect you to make a tip on like an $8 drink already.
What the? That's the whole drink. You could
I
get
know.
2 drinks for that tip.
Right. So the other day, I was out of drive-through, and it was pouring rain. And my car was getting drenched inside when I rolled down my window to pay. So I just like had the tap thing, and I just tapped it hella quick, got my drink, and left. And then my phone notified me saying $12 was charged at Starbucks.
Hell nah.
My drink was like $7.90, like almost $8. I was like, what the hell? So I turned my ass around and I go through that drive-thru again. I was like, hey, I would like to be refunded the extra money. I don't know like what happened, but I didn't mean to tip you at all. No offense. And they're like, oh yeah, your tap must have hit the tip, like maximum tip thing.
So they scheming.
Right. They didn't even say, oh, answer a question
There's
or
no
anything.
disclosure
They were
there.
just like, tap here. I was like, okay, I tapped. And then boom, $12 for a latte. So yeah, I had to do that whole thing. They had to get a manager and everything because the person didn't know how to refund the tip or whatever. So I got that back. The girl kind of like was hella judging me. You know, they look you up and down.
Damn.
And I don't give a fuck, man. I'm not paying $12 for a Starbucks.
No normal person would.
What do you think about that? Like that?
My opinion is they don't deserve it. And I'm not being some slob or snob. The people at Dutch Bros, they endure the weather. Most of the time, it's raining, and I see some dude there. Like, they have umbrellas for that, you know? They bring their own gear.
Like, they be wearing that trench coat thing.
Yeah, they have to dress for the job and get prepped for the job. I'm not paying $7 tip for a damn window. It's actually a drive-through. Like you're talking to some dude behind a window wearing Dutch Bros. You're getting personal. Sometimes there's occasionally an annoying conversation. Like I was at Dutch Bros next to Home Depot. I tip them because they try to be nice. Like sometimes they try to be too nice. Like sometimes I don't want to talk. It's just like,
I roll my window back up.
Like, how's your how you feeling? I was like, I'm just chilling. He's like, I feel it. How are you? And I'm like, I'm chilling. I feel it. What are you doing tonight? I was like, I'm chilling, building a bed. I was like, oh, okay, that sounds dope. What kind of bed? Like, damn, I don't want to talk to you.
They want to know your whole life story there. It's hella funny. I'm not much of a talker, which is ironic because I'm doing a podcast, but. Yep. I don't like that at Dutch Bros. They always try to like get in your business. I kind of just roll my window up so they just don't try. But might look like I'm rude or something. But trust me, I'd be more rude if they tried to.
Hey, if you're watching this, please put down your favorite Dutch Bros drink. We'll review it in another YouTube video. I'd actually be down to do that.
That place has so many drinks that like it's impossible for one person to know everything that you could possibly get there. So.
And there's secret menu stuff, right?
Right.
And it's all customizable.
Yep.
Speaking of Starbucks, speaking of Dutch Bros, remember when during COVID, keep in mind the year's 2023, during 2020, me and Kyle and our other homie Mona, going to Dutch Bros was the highlight of our day because it was just the only thing you could do. It was strange. And it was like, we got our Italian cream soda. Then the day is over.
Highly recommend that, by the way, with extra cream. Orange and vanilla flavor.
Yeah, we were fiending for the Dutch and we were breaking rules. But, ironically, we didn't say shit or enforce rules on anyone. And you know what happened? None of us got COVID. So screw you guys who say, I'm going to cancel you because you don't wear a mask. I'm going to cancel you so you don't wear. I'm going to cancel you because you're outside. I'm going to cancel you.
All those people that said they were going to cancel us for going outside during quarantine, they all got COVID multiple times, by the way. We did not, and our friend Mona did not either. So
when they got tired of Twitter, eventually they went out too.
Yeah.
Or like when their Twitter finger
they be tweeting all day, and then all of a sudden they're silent. And that means they got COVID.
Yeah. Speaking of COVID, there might be weird news in terms of health around the world. Mm-hmm. Did you know that there's a Kraken variant?
It's really called Kraken?
Yeah. I misread it. It said the Karen variant. Like, there's no way. So, apparently, Omicron was another variant
Mm-hmm.
and it made me get another booster, and then the scientific name is XBB 1.5,
Jesus.
and then it's a variation of Omicron.
Okay, Omicron phase 2.
Yeah, it's Omicron's like deadlier sibling. Apparently,
Okay.
it has easy access to infect cells,
Mm.
and overseas, it's like accountable for 40 to 50% of the new COVID cases in the UK and in China.
Oh shit. Is that the same one I was reading about COVID shit like earlier today? Is that the same one where it's more likely to infect people with the vaccine?
Yes. And that's the plot twist.
Now, how does that make any sense for all you out there getting mad at everyone for not getting vaccinated and everything? Like, I am vaccinated. Kiann is too.
But we're done after 3.
After the second booster, I was done. After that, all the other shit that they're going to come up with after that, it's a complete scam. I don't believe in it. It's complete BS. And I just think it's going to come up like with more health issues the later in life we get. We're going to be sitting on the couch one day watching TV, and there's going to be a commercial saying, "Did you get the COVID vaccine booster number 4 or 5 or 6, whatever? You may be entitled to, money or something."
Yeah.
It's definitely going to happen, and I'll tell all of you I told you so.
How is it a scam, and like in terms of people with insurance?
Now, I don't mean like a scam financially. I mean a scam like health-wise. Like everyone, there's so many people and companies and foundations out there that are selling things that are harming us, and we're just consuming it every single day. And I think some of the vaccines are just another play like that.
Oh, yeah, I could see it.
Like, take America, for example. We consume a lot more sugar. We have a lot more sugary cereals, a lot of sodas and shit. Like, no wonder why we're an obese country compared
what's crazy,
to a lot of
though?
others.
In terms of soda, the diet soda is for healthier use.
But it's worse, huh?
Because there's carcinogens. If you don't know, it causes cancer.
See?
Fake sugar does that to you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, sugar isn't good either. Like regular sugar, too much of it can increase your, likelihood of getting cancers too. So it's just, I just think all the vaccines that they're coming out with now is just another thing that's going to harm us in the long run, that everyone is, just going to consume because the majority does that. They're like sheep.
You think there's some crowd control play involved?
How so?
Like you said, there could be a possibility that the vaccine screws us over. Do you think the government wants us to die for Earth crowd control?
Oh shit. That you can go down a whole rabbit hole with that. I don't know where I stand on that. Just because there's a study recently where they're finding that the millennials and Gen Z are not really at the age where they're going to be making having kids yet. The millennials are
That's true.
having kids way later in life, and they're actually saying that we're going to experience the opposite of that.
Oh, what?
We won't have as many people, right?
I mean, and respectfully, there's a lot of gays and lesbians, so there's no reproduction in millennials.
Right, you can talk about that too, where there's like a higher number of gays and lesbians and all that stuff, which is fine, nothing against that, but It's just a higher number than it was before, and people who do want to have kids naturally, the traditional way, they're even waiting longer and longer and longer if they even have them anyway. Another reason for that is it's just way too expensive to
That's
live.
True.
Transitioning to that poses a whole nother issue for our generation.
Right.
I feel like for millennials and Gen Z, I'll be referring to both because I was born on the last year, like the cutoff of millennial transitioning to Gen Z. So I can kind of, get the best of or worst of both worlds. But it's insanely expensive to live today.
Dude, I'm in college. My professor said, back then it was easier to live because blue collar jobs make bank back in the day, and now the normal adult rate for actually adulting and being independence, 29 to 34, as compared to last, few generations ago. Because my parents made it at 22, 24.
Right. Yeah, and my parents, they got married, they had their first house, and they had me by 23.
That's really crazy.
I'm 26. I have a very good paying job, but I still live with my parents because I'm just trying to get ahead. And I feel like there's a lot of us in that situation. We're not lazy, we're hustling, or we're studying our asses off.
Yeah.
But it is just that hard to get ahead now.
It's not enough these days.
Parents were doing it. So that, just being able to take care of ourselves, I can't even imagine taking care of like a child or multiple children.
What? So they had you at 23?
Yeah.
Mine had me at 24, and I still feel like a kid.
I know, it's weird. Like, I could be helping, like, I sell real estate, and I could be helping someone, buy or sell the biggest asset they could possibly have, in their life.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I go home to my parents' house, and like they cook me dinner and shit. Like it's comfy. It's cool. I get to save money and stuff. But I kind of feel like a kid after like adulting all day. It's like I transition back to like when I was a kid. It's really weird.
I feel like I'll be 30 and be still like a kid.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, I'm 26, guys. So
yeah, but
I think I'll have to get out pretty soon. But
hey, that's the goal. If you guys help us, we can have our own crib. So please download this video on Spotify and iTunes and subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do a 360 on the subject, because I was looking for topics for this, and then there's a study that drugs like DMT can open a third eye.
Whoa.
Do you think that's cap?
I don't
like super hallucinogenic drugs that open something in your brain. And then there was also a testimony about this Christian who's like hella addicted to drugs, and then apparently he saw God, and that's why he's a Christian, but he converted to like a strong follower.
So you're associating opening the third eye with God, though.
But are there many ways? Because apparently
there are many theories. Yeah,
theories.
I won't really say which way I sway, because I'm always like open to hearing what people think about that. Some people say like having like the third eye, or being able to see the future, shit like that, is a God-gifted talent. Others say that it's all things the devil, tarot cards and all that stuff. So that's something we could talk about a whole lot. And I definitely have personal experiences and friends I have that have had like tons of experiences.
Shout out, y'all. You know who you are.
And, personally, I don't know about the drug thing opening it up, but I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. Because
in this guy's story, he said he had drug problems. That was the weak Christian part of his life. And then he was on DMT and shrooms. And I think DMT is like, I might be wrong, it's either shrooms from Africa, which is like native African hallucinogenics, or like some sort of strain of a shroom. And then he said he saw God. He was like, yeah, I know like stuff that makes me hallucinate won't kill me. And then bam, he saw God. And then according to his vision, he said, what makes you think that this can kill you? I can stop your heart in an instant. And then apparently,
dang, so it was like a wake up call from God,
something like that. And then that's when the strong Christian chapter of his life is in play.
So did he completely like turn his life around?
Yeah.
So like, what's he doing today?
I think he's a pastor.
Well, shit.
We don't judge.
Anything's possible, guys.
Yeah, but he like he's not doing that stuff, which
Okay.
makes me think: does being high affect like paranormal instances?
Well, okay, I can talk about that.
Go.
Whether it was real or not, I will let you in on my first experience of getting high. And, for everyone out there, come on, everyone tried it at least once.
Even
Don't
you,
judge.
mom and dad.
All right. So, and people look at me like I'm like the dad of the group, and I even tried it. So we won't even talk about we don't even talk about being judgy and stuff. But my first time, I had like an edible thing. It was like a cookie. I was with my friends in Vegas. First time in Vegas. We all tried it. It tasted like a normal cookie. It was good. It just chocolate chip cookie, and I ate the whole thing because I wasn't feeling anything.
Yeah.
Right? And we each had one whole one. So we all thought we got scammed. Like, no, there was nothing cool about it. Like, an hour later, we were all like high as a kite. Eventually, like, we all had like this big suite in Vegas, and we kind of got lost in it.
Mm-hmm.
They found me on the toilet about an hour later.
What the fuck?
Just knocked out. But like after that, like sometimes when you get high, like it comes in waves. So I guess you could say my second wave, I was back like in the living room area, and I was just like knocking out again on the couch. But then like I saw a bunch of like what seemed to be dead people roaming around in the living room area of our like hotel suite.
Damn.
Now, my friends were not in the same room as me, of course. They were all knocked out on like the bed or the other couch in the other room. Now, what I didn't mention in the beginning is my friend Kevin, he was, into YouTube at the time, and he actually put a camera to videotape our, reactions and stuff.
Were there orbs?
In the kitchen. No, not orbs, but
Oh.
the morning after, we reviewed that footage, and he actually saw me talking to something that was not even there.
Fuck.
And I can remember it still vaguely. Where like I hear and see people like they all seem older, so I'm like, are these my ancestors or something? And I don't remember actually communicating with them, but in the camera footage it showed me like nodding my head and like reacting to something communicating with me. But yeah, it was like I remember talking to like, or I don't remember a conversation, but I remember seeing like an older woman with gray hair. Maybe it was like a great grandparent or something, but I remember multiple like older people like around me, just walking around, that lady sitting next to me.
You think it was cool, or were you spooked?
I don't remember being spooked. I don't know. It felt normal at the time, but then when I woke up, I was like, what happened? And I watched that footage and I was like, what the heck? So was it real? I don't know, but it could have been. I'm not sure.
Damn, that's different. In my first time, I don't do it a lot. I think I can count with my hands, just one hand, how many times. But the first time I did it was with a wood, and then I didn't feel anything. I was like, the only thing that's different is this Jamba Juice tastes really good. And then I was like, I don't think it works on me. And then my Indian friend from GCU was like, okay, let's do a dab. I was like,
oh no.
I was like, what's that?
Dude, that's like the worst thing you could do.
He was offended that I was like, didn't feel it. I didn't know how to do it, so I didn't even know if I did it right.
One way to get hella messed up is to like be in a pothead's presence, try their shit, and say that you're not like feeling anything.
Then they're offended.
They're gonna mess you up.
They just dose you. They just give you all of it. And then before I took the dab, he gave me he wanted me to try the electric pod. Oh, a pen.
Okay.
A pen. And then I tried that too. He was like, then I coughed, right? And then I started feeling it, but it wasn't that crazy. I was just really hungry. He was like, I think I'm good. But he was like, if you want to try it? The dad was like, okay. So he took it and then burned it on the bong, and then I just did it for like 15 seconds, and I think 15 seconds with like wax is really tough. And then I thought I immediately started feeling it. Like, I really love listening to Future and Playboy Cardi. I was like, guys, I'm feeling it.
He loves Playboy Cardi.
I love Playboy Cardi. You feel me? And then I was like, I need to listen to some music because I'm getting paranoid. And then I see my friends Christine and Mary. Shout out you guys. And then they were like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I just laid on Mary's couch. And then I don't know what happened. They just come to me, and they bring me Swedish fish and a whole bag of Cheeto puffs, and I finished that in like 2 hours. And then for dinner, I was with my roommates, and I went to Denny's, and I had 16 slices of toast.
This guy in toast.
It was crazy. And I was actually feeling it for the whole weekend. I'm not built like that.
It affected you the whole weekend?
Yeah.
Man.
Because Mary's been like, she felt it for a weekend too. Before I did it, he was like, "Yeah, one time I did it for a weekend." I was like, "What? I need to like function." But what ended up happening to her happened to me tenfold. Like, I'm not built for that type of stuff. I like kava though.
Yeah, kava, like for you guys who don't know what kava is, it's like, it's not a drug or anything. It's completely natural. It's from like a root from like Fiji. That's where it came from. But it's a drink. It tastes like ass. Like literally it's dirt water. Don't smell it. You'll want to throw up. Just like chug it hella fast. It just makes you relaxed. Probably lasts 45 minutes to an hour, and then you're back to normal. But there's kava lounges here and there. They're getting pretty common in California. So if you're not into getting high or drunk or anything, but you want to feel relaxed, then that's another option. So
okay. Speaking about science and spiritual stuff, sleep paralysis, something I've always been interested in and paranoid of. It's a state where your mind's basically awake while your body's still asleep. So technically you can't move. Sometimes during the scary YouTube videos I watch at night, it explained that they're shadow people. Do you think that's the mind, or is that actually some spirits?
Okay. Now I know why you brought this up, because I experienced this, and it was probably like the scariest thing that's happened to me. And I don't get scared very often. I'm not really like scared of like dying or anything. But being like frozen, like you can't move and you can't say anything, but you can see what's going on, that shit is scary. Like that happened to me one time in my house, and like my head was in the pillow. I sleep like that sometimes. So I had like one eye that I could like open and see something, right? And I wake up, my eye opens, and I can't move. So I was like, okay, this is weird. And then I hear doors like throughout my house slamming. I was like, oh, what the hell?
I didn't even know this.
I know, and I didn't even know what time it was or anything, because I couldn't even move to get my phone or anything. I just knew it was daytime now because the sunlight was out. But then I heard footsteps, loud footsteps, coming closer and closer to me. And I was like, what is going on? And I was starting to freak out because I was like, I can't move. Like, did someone break in? So did anyone break in or what? What was going on? But then, like, my blinds were open, so the sunlight was out, and the sunlight started going away. Like,
what?
I sleep right next to a window, so the sunlight from that window was like dimming. And
was this your head or the time of day?
This was in my head, I guess. Like, it was sunny out. It wasn't that. And why I know that is because since I could still see from that one eye, because my other eye was like in the pillow still, like this shadowy figure comes up to me. Like at this point I see it.
Oh hell no.
and it touches me. It touches my forehead.
Like,
Yeah, like that. I could feel it touch me, like right here, and like that's where like the third eye would be, I guess. Which I'll talk about that again later. But I was hella freaked out. But then like I don't know why, but the first thing I thought of was my grandma who passed away earlier that year. I just thought of her, and the minute I thought of her, I saw her pop up, like. It's crazy. It's crazy.
like evil version or her?
No, just her. Like nothing evil about that. But the minute she popped up, that other thing disappeared. And then the minute that thing disappeared, she disappeared, and I can move, and like get up.
You can have an argument that that's actually spiritual.
But I don't know. I'd like to think so, because if it's not, I don't know what another explanation is. But because I was awake, I was conscious. This wasn't a dream. But yeah, best believe I got ready and got out of my house ASAP, because I was not trying to hang around there. Since then I got it cleansed and everything. Just covering my bases just in case.
Yeah.
And
precautions.
Ironically, after I got it blessed, nothing has happened like that ever since. In that house.
You mind talking about that room? Pre-blessed, post-blessed vibes.
Oh yeah. Probably a couple years before the paralysis thing in my house, I had a friend staying in my guest room downstairs, and I was upstairs getting ready. We were getting ready to go out, so he was getting ready downstairs, and I was upstairs, and then I had another friend just watching TV in the living room. But anyway, I heard like screaming or like yelling, and he was like knocking on the door, like on his bedroom door. And this door has no lock. Okay.
So it's just the door.
Right. You can just open it. And he's like, I'm locked in. I can't get out. I'm like, are you stupid? There's no lock on the door. And then I guess my other friend, I come out, and then I go down the stairs, but my other friend runs from the living room to that door before he got there before I could. And he tried opening it, and it wasn't opening. I was like, what the heck is going on? And then like I said, get out of the way. And then I tried to open it, and it wasn't giving. Like I tried 3 times, and then it opened. And we were all like, what the hell is going on? Like,
oh, hell no.
Yeah, it was weird. But like he felt the room get cold in there. What do I believe him or not? I don't know. We're not even friends anymore. But it was just a weird thing, because I've had other friends stay in that room that said similar things. Like the room got really cold, and it's like the summertime, right? Or they see something like a shadowy thing like in the corner or whatever.
Bro, shadow people low-key universal.
Well, shadows are kind of scary because like people associate them to evil. If you see something light, it's good, but shadow, dark figures, like that's not good. But anyway, a few people have said the same thing about that one room. So I try to believe that, because people who don't know each other have said the same thing about the same room.
Damn.
But yeah, that was another thing that happened in the house, and the paralysis thing, and then I got it cleansed, and it's all good now.
I only got sleep paralysis one time, and I think it was like the scariest experience of my life. This was before I got with my girlfriend Libby, and then after that, I just slept at her room. So if you didn't know this happened. So
I didn't know this.
So during my sophomore year of college, I was a really party type of guy. I was a nice dude who loved to kick it. And then sometimes doing all of that would mess with my sleeping schedule, which is obviously, or could play a factor in like psychological stress and like weird body time. So one time it was like there was a weekend where I did 3 late nights in a row, and my body was just fried. And then when I went to sleep, I think I got sleep paralysis. So, if you guys are in a medical type of job, I had to like dissect human bodies, which is also called a cadaver. And then in the closet, I just saw like a cadaver standing.
What the heck?
I'm like, what the fuck? And I was scared. It sounded like Yui. Not like that, but wrong sound. This is the first podcast, by
We're
the way.
still getting used to all the buttons, guys.
But like in the closet, I just saw a dark shadow, and then yours altered the weather, apparently.
No, I think it was mine was like he was in the way of the window.
Oh,
I think that's what it was. I don't think you could alter the weather.
I was like, that's one
No,
powerful
he was like
dream.
blocking the window.
That's one powerful dream. But like in mine, I had a chest like that in GCU,
Oh, okay.
the one where my shoes are standing on.
Okay, so like a shelf because you
Yeah,
guys can't see
like
it.
a shelf on the the ground, and then it was a purple treasure chest basically, and then it started forming into like a silver table, one where like autopsies happen, and then you just dissect stuff, and I was like, what the hell? And on top of my shelf are shoes. I'm like, those aren't shoes, that's a cadaver. Which is like, it's like when you dissect a frog, but it's a human. So, and like usually people pay respects to the dead by covering the face. But the cadaver was like, it was just a cadaver.
So, what if? So this happened like after you did that, right?
After party key, like a lit weekend.
But like after you dissected.
Yeah.
Okay, right. What if you were dissecting someone that, like their ghost was there, and they didn't like you doing that?
I mean,
So they're like, I'm gonna hunt the shit out of you.
it's like your driver's license. You're a donor and you donate your body.
Right, but
So like consent before
I don't
death.
know. Maybe when they died and they're like, hey, I'm actually not a fan of this.
I didn't even touch that thing. But like it was just a silver tray of that cadaver, and it stood up, and then nothing really happened. It just stood up staring at me while I was asleep. I was like, number one, you're on my shoes, and I love my shoes, and number two, that was creepy as hell. I didn't sleep in my room for like 3 days. It was one of the worst experiences I've ever had sleeping. Like it wasn't pleasant.
Ugh.
Yeah. Like, that was like, I would actually agree with people who are like, you know what, maybe it's not all science or your
Yeah.
head playing with you.
But like in the comments, I'd be happy to hear from people like who are well versed in the medical field. Like, are there any like medical circumstances where someone would experience something like that? Because I'm also open to hearing that side of things. Like I grew up kind of spiritual, so like I can see the possibilities there, but I'm also like willing to see the possibilities like on the scientific side, like of how can someone experience something like that. I don't know. It's just really intriguing.
Yeah.
Or have any of you experienced that? And what's your take on it?
That's crazy. Like, I'm a man of science, but I believe in God as well. I'm a very logical person, but that experience made me question if it made me realize that even a normal dude, some paranormal stuff can happen. I truly believe it was paranormal. Because why would a cadaver follow me? You know? In the head.
Someone dead wants you dead.
Out of 4,000, out of thousands of students in a big campus.
Maybe you stand out.
I don't know how I stand out. But, you know, sometimes you have to know when it's not for you. In terms of like spooky stuff, you know how like we're down to just do fun stuff?
Yeah.
Is having a squad exploring fun? Just it's called urban exploration, abandoned buildings, malls.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What crosses your line? When do you get out?
I mean, Probably when I just feel like we're in an unsafe situation, which has not happened yet.
Physical or like
Maybe both, like physical or like paranormally, if you're like,
in believer?
yeah, if you believe in that, or if you're exploring some haunted, place, then I guess you should leave. But
Is ghost hunting, is that in your boundaries, or did that cross your line
I
already?
think that's fun, just because, like, it's all exploratory. It's not until it's all proven. You don't really know what it is. But yeah, I would say that's like fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, in terms of like certain types of personalities and or situations, because I know you're more educated in the paranormal side. What do you think inclines, or like if you know anyone, what do you think makes them a magnet? Like,
Oh.
will you ever be scared that you hunt and the hunt's not over when you're home?
Oh. Okay. I get what you mean.
Like it followed you?
I do have a theory that and this only comes from things that I've heard from other people, and like some stuff that I've seen like happen to others, where I feel like if you're purposely doing that stuff, or like you're around people who may be like haunted or some stuff, or like have negative energy attached to them, I do feel like that can, like, you can attract that from just being in the wrong place at the wrong time, or around the wrong people who have that stuff, and like you carry it with you. Also, there's theories to where, if for example, if you're Christian,
Mm-hmm.
but you have a Buddha or something in your house, that's not the God that you pray to. That has some like negative energy around it, or some stuff like that. Other people would say that's BS and it's just a decoration. But that's one way of attracting negative energy.
That's true. Conflict of interest spiritually. You're going to see some fights, and yeah.
Right. I mean, you are who you hang around. So I guess if you hang around a haunted person, you will become haunted as well. Just like if you hang around a bunch of stupid people, that's what you will be.
Yep. All right. Enough of this ghost stuff. Let's go to a more jolly subject.
All right.
All right. What do you think the first cuss word was?
Shit.
No.
Oh, so you actually have an answer?
I actually have an answer.
Fuck.
I'll give you two more.
Bitch.
No.
Why can't I think of anything else?
You're not going to guess it. Even I didn't
What
guess
is
it. It's fart.
Fart is not a cuss word.
Apparently, fart is the first derogatory word in a lot of history.
Really?
Like, dang, think about how many times that we said stuff worse than fart. Dude, sometimes it's a crime to cuss back in the day.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, you could go to jail for swearing.
Really?
Yeah, like,
Jail?
that's like in like Australia, I think.
Like, still today?
1200s.
Damn, that's hella far away.
I know. So, like, isn't that, like, crazy that fart was the first bad word?
We've come a long way.
Yeah, can you think about it? Like, imagine, like, it's not the word. It's probably the sound and the reaction. So, I think the definition of a cuss word, according to online, is something that gives a negative connotation or invokes a very negative reaction. You know what's crazy? Cuss words are normal these days.
Yeah.
When I was 8 years old, I said shit. I felt like a bad person.
Man,
now it's like, shit. Now it's like, shit.
Yeah. I remember the first time I got in trouble for cussing. I would think I was like in 3rd grade. This was like the year I was acting out.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't really much of a kid to like act out, but I guess 3rd grade was the year for me. and I called one of those, like, she wasn't a hall monitor because it was like at recess, but like a recess monitor or something. And she said it was time to go inside, but I wasn't done playing like basketball with my friends. And yes, back then I played sports.
Yep.
But like, I didn't want to go inside, so I called her a biatch. I didn't even say bitch. I said biatch.
Oh.
And oh man, that was the first time I got sent to the principal's office, and like, yeah, it was all bad.
How many times have you been sent to the principal's office?
That was it. Actually, no, that's a lie.
I feel like you've been there a lot.
No, just twice.
What's the second one?
Second one, fast forward to 11th grade.
What's that?
Junior in high school.
Oh, damn. I'm that old.
My friends and I wanted to go to like the 7-Eleven across the street just for a snack because the school food sucked. But it was a closed campus, so you weren't allowed to do that. But a friend and I did it anyway, and the PE teacher caught us going across the street, and he actually ran after us in like full on like tackle mode.
Off campus?
Yes.
I guess off campus is like
right, but it was like right across the street. Like we would have been back in time for class. But yeah, my friend tripped on a crack and I kept running, and then the guy tackled me.
So you got tackled by Mr. PE teacher?
Yes.
Is that allowed?
Don't know. But he was a cool teacher. He was not my PE teacher. He was actually my economics teacher. He did both. But he was cool. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. But yeah, so I just wanted some hot Cheetos, man.
You eat those?
Back then I did.
You know what's funny? Speaking about school, when you were young, do you think the best way to get popular was just if you had the best status if you were one of the fastest kids? Have you noticed that?
No, I wouldn't say
You play kickball?
like elementary school.
Yeah, were you a good kicker? You can get good status off of
Honestly, when you
high
ask me that,
kicks.
the only thing I remember is playing kickball, and I kicked the ball, but I slipped on the dirt at the same time, and the ball went out pretty far. But when I fell, there was like this sharp rock, and when I fell, the sharp rock stabbed my butt cheek.
Yikes.
And it was so painful. I
Muddies.
ran to the bathroom because I felt like I was literally like gonna bleed, but it was just a really bad bruise. But when you bring up kickball, that's what I remember.
In elementary school, it gave me a tendency to not like pooping in public. Cause like, kids, back then, or my classmates, I was pooping in a stall, right? Because we're not in a modern time, so it was like the slip lock, you know, where you slide it.
They still got those.
Where we go, there's doorknobs for the bathroom.
Oh,
stalls
I guess
now.
so. I'm
There's
just talking about
doorknob.
schools. Like most of them are, yeah.
No, but I was pooping, right? And first of all, I'm a germaphobe, so I had to squat on top of the toilet because my cheeks ain't touching the toilet. So it was like a squat. I stood up and I squatted.
You don't want to use that paper thing?
No, the paper's like, it's bad quality.
Oh yeah.
And then this dude named Jordan, he looked and was like, "Is that Kiann? Why are you squatting, you Asian?" I was like, "What the?" I was 8. No, I was younger. I was like 7 years old, and I was like, "You're 7 years old and racist?"
What a clean kid. He's 7 years old squatting.
Yeah, and then I tried squatting the other way just for him to see my butt. So it was like,
You wanted him to see your butt on purpose?
would you rather have him see the front part or the back part?
Oh, good point, I guess.
Yeah, but yeah, that's why I have a phobia of public poops. My boy Kyle, on the other hand, he gets off on it.
Hold up. No,
He was
no,
like,
no.
I love violating your toilets.
No.
You heard that right?
I actually hate pooping in public as well.
But you do it the most out of all of the people I know.
It didn't used to be like that. Okay, I had a constipation issue. And
Your
like
stomach had a good run.
it got to the point where like when I got the feeling to go, I better go, because like if I hold it, I probably won't go for like another day or two. So that's why I started going. But anyway, no, I don't like pooping in public. I strongly
I hate
I'm
it.
strongly against pooping in like porta potties. I did that once when I was 7 years old at a construction site when my parents were building a
On
house.
that case, what would you have done if you were constipated at a rave? They have the worst bathrooms. What would you do?
Oh God, I would probably hold it.
Do you have that ability?
Yes,
What?
I do.
That's crazy. I can't even hold it.
Yeah.
That's why I don't drink coffee.
And my ability
Away.
to hold it dates back to that time I was just telling you about in the porta potty, because that shit almost knocked over mid shit. And it's like I had to like stop what I was doing and get out because there was like a storm coming and it was blowing everything away. And that door flew wide open too, so I was like out of there. But ever since then, I've been able to hold my shit in when needed.
Well, you want to end it there?
We will end it there.
All right. Anything that you want, from ghost stories, drug stories, to pooping, we got you. Make sure to listen to our Spotify and iTunes down below, and we'll see you on the next episode of Sippin News. Oh, wait. I'm new to this.